We're gonna watch all of these crap guides to Final Fantasy 14, and we're gonna see what they have. The first one is tanks, so we're gonna go into tanks. Okay, so I'm excited about this. I've heard good things. I wanna kind of experience with you guys. So let's fucking go. Maybe it'll help me decide which job I want to play whenever I get to Final Fantasy 14. All right, so let's go.
What up, warriors of fartness? I bet you don't have the slightest clue how to play this eyeball-melting anime game. Oh, sure, you probably know that you can beat up enemies by clicking on them until they die, but do you know how to find a static in your FC to help you prog uwu? I bet you don't even know what any of those words mean.
Whoa! Hold up. What did he just say?
On them until they die, but do you know how to find a static in your FC to help you prog uwu? I bet you don't.
What the fuck is an uwu? That's the anime uwu? Ooh. I know what an FC is. I've been in one of those. I know that. Ooh. You find a static in your FC to help prog uwu. Okay. Context clues from a WoW player. Static, FC, prog. I know what prog means. Uwu. So I'm guessing uwu is an acronym for some fucking something.
Don't even know what any of those words mean, so sit down, shut up, and eat your gissel greens, because I'm gonna teach you what thee mayhap not knoweth, thy noobliness. Welcome to a crap guide to Final Fantasy.
Okay. I love the kazoo. Tanks. Okay, tanks. I know a little bit about tanking.
The tank is a person in the front lines of every group, leading the charge to inevitable party wipes, which is because you are the most important person in the party, having slap fights with the boss since everybody else is way too squishy to handle the puss-pounding patty cake. You'll never see Jimmy's soft boots eyeing up the cloud of darkness with his 2x4 and scriggly tree branch. But how hard can tanking be? Turn on your tank stance, do your 1-2-3 combo, and blame the healers when you die, right? That sounds like somebody who needs their short...
Yes, always blame the healers. It's always the healer's fault. It's never the tank's fault, okay? It's always the healers.
Combo and blame the healers when you die, right? That sounds like somebody who needs their short Q privileges revoked. Firstly, tank stance. You turn this on to start gaining enmity. What's enmity? It's where you shout at the bad guys, "Hey, hit me!" They'll be paying attention to you so long as you're dealing damage, so you better be dealing damage and not just having a staring contest. If you don't, then they're gonna start indiscriminately charging at the rest of the party like a dog in a movie theater. If you are the designated main tank, or in light parties, the only tank, make sure
hold on, what did that say? What did that say? Hold up, back that up.
The designated main tank, or in light parties, the...
Okay, main tank. The tank in an 8-man party that pulls the boss first and usually keeps the boss's aggro for a majority, if not the entire boss fight. Right. Light party. 4-man party where there's only one tank. Got it. Okay.
The only tank, make sure this is on. If there is another tank in the party and you are the off tank, make sure this is off. Unless there's some other bad guys you gotta pull. If you have conflicting stances with the other tank, they will chuck their shoulder pads at you. As a tank, you should make sure the bad guy's ass is fit.
So there's stance dancing. So basically, if you're with a second tank, you want to make sure that you have your tank stance off so you're not fighting him for threat. Okay, that's a little different from WoW. I didn't really know that whenever I was tanking. Like, you need to learn tank swap in a lot of later fights. Okay. Alright, that makes sense. Okay.
As a tank, you should make sure the bad guy's ass is facing the party as often as possible, as indicated by the bright, glowing, half-eaten donut underneath the target. This is so that if the bad guy sneezes, you're the only one getting down with the sickness. And also, if your party has anyone playing any jobs that particularly likes to clap them cheeks, you provided a bright, shiny spanking space. On top of this, as a tank, you are, by Heidelin's blessings, horrible at dancing, which is why you should move as little as possible once you've got the enemy's attention. That way, the party can continue to whap the wumpus without having to chase down the bad guy's glorious booty. Just as well, because you have control of...
Mofo says, "Whap the wumpus." I'm gonna steal that. That's good.
To whap the wumpus without having to chase down the bad guy's glorious booty. Just as well, because you have control of where the baddies are, you control how useful everybody else is. So if somebody puts down a useful AoE, stop fucking running away from it. Now that you have the baddie's attention and are in a nice cozy poking position, you don't have to worry about anything else, right? Oh, that's what I thought you'd say, you dumb fucking horse. Believe it or not, when you die, it's not entirely the healer's fault, just mostly their fault.
Whoa! I will not hear this. When I die, it's always the healer's fault. Okay, they should have healed me.
The healer's fault, just mostly their fault. That little bit of responsibility you have is based on how well you can juggle mitigation. What's mitigation? It's the buttons that make the bad guy's slaps hurt less that you sometimes press once a subscription and never think about again. You ever wonder why you have several of those buttons that all seem...
What is this? Okay, hold on. I know about... I will let everyone die. Okay, I know about Paladin because I've played Paladin. And I've played Warrior from the little bit of time I've played. But I don't know anything about these other ones. I know about those. Gunbreaker. Let's see. Reduce damage taken by target, which can be yourself, by 15%. Okay. Increase parry rate by 50%. Okay. Reduce damage. Okay. Okay. Dark Knight. Create barrier around target. Self absorbs the A20. Okay. Reduce magic damage taken by self and party. Reduce these are some really good. So every tank has like 4 defensives. Got it. Okay. Dark is edgy boy, emo lord. Gunbreaker is 3 DPS in a trench coat. Okay.
Seem like they do the same thing? Well, that's because you're supposed to space them out over the course of a fight so the healers don't have to sacrifice their entire mana pool and firstborn child to get your frail ass through the dungeon. Remember not to bust your tanking load all at once, or else you're gonna feel a lot of shame when you're all out of juice and the boss still wants to go about 4 more rounds. Every tank also has a press X to not die button that can be used to survive any devastating attacks, or if you're really aggressive.
He's going so fast. Hold on. Paladin, Hallowed Ground. Okay, I know about that one. I know about Warrior. Dark Knight, Living Dead. Prevents HP from going below 1, but if take fatal damage, must be healed to full, or else you die anyway. What? That okay? Grants invulnerability and sets HP to 1. That sounds like this Super Belied one here sounds like it's a good way to give your healer a heart attack. How long does the invulnerability last? That's the question. Yeah, I was gonna say Super Belied will make your healer hate you. I was like, what the fuck?
Used to survive any devastating attacks, or if you're a really aggressive paladin who drew every enemy in a dungeon ever and don't want the healer to hire a hitman on you. As for what your limit break does, tanks are thicker than the average Disney mom, to the point your honky chonky donkey bahonky extends to the rest of the party, protecting them from damage up to a whopping 80% at LB3. The thing is, unless you're a high-end player, you'll probably be using tank LB as frequently as a good player rolls high on loot. Overall, you have 4 flavors to choose from: punk, grunge, metal, and Christian rock. There's warrior for big asses, big anger, big self-healing, and if you like to do fell cleaves again and again and again and again. If you prefer more brooding than cruding, the Dark Knight is great for doing your best guts impression. You get a huge ass sword, goopy black energy particle effects, and the literal best mitigation in the entire game. But it's balanced because they get the worst invulnerability button in the entire game.
Yo, big mega huge sword. I like it. Big mega edgy boy huge sword. Okay, where's my sticky note? I'm gonna write sticky note right here. Okay. Right now I'm on the tanks. Dark Knight. Okay. Dark Knight. I like Dark Knight a lot. Okay, that looks cool.
Press it, and then it makes you die. Gunbreaker is called a tank, but everybody knows it's just 3 DPS in a trench coat, as designated by the fact you get a fucking gun and your swings explode. But you have to be a hardcore gamer, since it requires a lot of cartridges. And finally, the Paladin, who tries to pretend they're a healer and caster, but only when the other healers and casters are looking. But fuck all that, because the most important thing is that you get the motherfucking sword and shield, baby! Try getting behind this wall of holiness, bitch! Now you know how to play tank, you're welcome.
Alright, I like that. I like that a lot. Out of what I was seeing there, though, Dark Knight looked cool as shit. Big, mega, huge sword, go, edgy boy, kaboof. That sounds cool as shit. Alright. So that was fun. I like that a lot.